Good morning and welcome to Let's Go Places, our anniversary show that we've been doing now for 12 years. We have it right here in the presence of the showroom at 746 East Lincoln Highway, the home of Team Toyota. Charlie Esposito, my co-host here, Bree at the helm, our engineer, and you, our listenership, which is most important. I'm Tom Mellon, retired Philadelphia police officer. One of the main reasons we put this show together, as you know, Charlie, 12 years ago, was to increase the awareness for our listeners of the courageous efforts of all of our heroes. Now, who are the heroes, Charlie?
Police, fire, first responders,
Right.
military,
Military,
nurses, doctors.
right? Doctors. Is there anyone else?
Uh,
We added a group of professionals to this
yeah.
assembly. Our teachers.
Teachers.
Our educators. Boy, let me
Thanks
tell
for
you.
putting me on that.
I put you right on the spot with that,
right off
didn't
the bat.
Yeah,
Didn't
right off
take
the
him
bat.
long to get me.
So now you know who the weakest link
link
is
is,
right now.
yes.
Remember, that's one of the shows that my
Strongest-
wife and I watch,
You're,
Jerry.
you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Your weakest link.
Boy, you're in trouble.
And you know, really, what they do, if you ever watch that show, Bree, if you ever watch it, they have to vote for the weakest link, and they pick the strongest one because they don't want to compete with the strongest link at the end for the big money. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to be on that show.
No, I wouldn't want to be on any of those shows.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure.
They'd be after me right away.
Of course they would.
Get
Yeah,
rid
no
of
doubt about
Get
it.
rid of that Esposito. Troublemaker.
But this show, obviously, we've conducted the show and we've had the show at different locations, different venues over the years.
So many.
Yes, it's sponsored by Paul Muller, and Paul has donated. As a matter of fact, speaking of the devil, I mentioned Paul Muller, and look who walks through the door.
It's scary.
As soon as I mention his name, he just pops. He's anywhere. He's everywhere. More than $200,000 has been donated by Paul Muller to a lot of our charitable programs, such as our Heroes, our Survivorship Fund, our Widows Fund, the PAL, which just was. We're going to be talking about that. Paul, who's I'm looking at right now, listeners, viewers. He's over on the side here. Paul, come on over and say hello to. Where did I put that headset? You can say a few words, humble words that you always have for our listeners. But we're headed down to the Crime Commission after this. It's a big event that they have, an annual one, which will be at lunchtime.
I hope it's at the
We're going to have to throw a suit on pretty soon. But, yeah, Paul, we've been doing the show. The first anniversary show, the first show was, I'm going to put you to the test. Do you remember where our first show was?
No.
The Irish Rover, down the street, right in the center of Pendle. We had it down there. Congressman Mike Fitzpatrick joined us.
There's nothing better than having a meeting with an Irishman in a bar. I mean, that's.
We started this show
Can't
off.
get better than that.
Oh,
very
yeah.
well. It was great. It was
Oh
great.
man.
Changing courses here to the Phillies. They did great.
I was at a game yesterday.
You were at the game, and I was listening to all the announcers talking about you with your charitable efforts and always involved with the Phillies down in.
Oh yeah. They do what the Phillies do. Just an unbelievable job. The Phillies charities, and they're. It's not just one charity. I mean, I think they're involved with 16, 17 charities, from the military to the police to
A lot of the
to
players.
children's to the
Sure.
firemen, first responders.
It's they cover everybody there.
Yeah, they do it. They do an absolutely magnificent job.
And Kyle Schwarber has his own foundation, and it's
lot of
doing
them.
very well.
Oh, they all do. Schwarber
Yeah.
does. Aaron Nola does.
Does he? I didn't. Yeah.
Oh
Aaron
yeah,
Nola as well.
yeah.
Okay.
They're all. I mean, they get it.
Sure
I mean,
they do.
they're well-known people. They're people that that make some pretty good money, and they want to give back. I mean,
Sure, sure.
I know a lot of them are just good people.
Yeah, they
from
really
good,
are.
Yeah, good families. Good. They get it. So yeah, we're proud to be a part of it.
You have been from its very beginning. Really since you've been in business.
Yeah.
It's Kyle Schwarber's family. I don't know if you're aware. They're all police officers.
I am aware.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
he's just a good guy.
Great guy. And
Yeah.
he's hit the ball. He had a
Had a
couple
good
hits
hit.
last
He
night.
had a good hit last
He
night.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he hits it when he hits it. He hits it far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's no, they're all, like I said, they're all pretty charitable, and
Good
they're all
guys.
they give of their time.
Their cohesiveness, though, is incredible. More so than a lot of over the years. I don't know I've ever seen how close they all are. As soon as they get a hit, they shake with each other.
This reminds me a lot of the '83 team.
Does it?
The Kruk, the Dalton,
right.
A little less swagger,
Yes,
maybe.
Yes.
But that's there's a personality in a locker room,
Absolutely.
and I think a lot of that, quite frankly, stems from Rob Thompson,
Yeah.
Who was just a player's manager.
Yeah.
And lets them play and lets them have fun, and they hit the home run, put the hat on, and do that, and they're dumping cups of water on each other, and
that's really.
Oh yeah, and they know
it, they'll put a dunk tank out.
Oh yeah,
there
and
next,
they know it's coming.
Of course they do.
But they're very, very friendly with each other.
They are.
Yeah, it's like a fraternity house.
It really is.
Yeah, because it's a job, and they make a lot of money to do the job.
Oh God.
But if you're, my whole life has been, if I'm not having fun, I'm leaving.
You're like
so that's, I think they let them have their fun, and they're doing the job.
They really do, from senior management all the way
Yep.
down.
Yeah. Well, from the owner all the way down. He is maybe the world's nicest guy.
Yes.
And you wouldn't know
next
he's
to you. Next
oh
to you.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm like him without the money. But I always laugh because we do things down there with them, and John Middleton is his name. And we got on an elevator one day. We were going to a dinner in his private dining room, and he said, Bev and I got on the elevator, and he gives us a big hug and says, how you doing? I said, good. I said, thanks so much, for having us dinner. Having us for dinner. I really, to your dinner. I really appreciate it. He says, oh, where would we be without you? I said, I don't know about everybody else in this elevator, but you'd have $4 billion. So, but that's the kind of guy he is. You wouldn't, if you met him on the street, you wouldn't know he was
an average guy.
Oh yeah, he stands on the dugout and he throws out baseballs, and you don't find owners. He's just
with those characteristics. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. He's just a very, very nice man.
Great guy.
Great family.
Yeah.
Beautiful wife. Just they get it, and they're very philanthropic on their own, outside of the Phillies organization.
Yes, it's incredible.
But
it really
all right,
is.
we'll go back to your show. Nobody wants to hear any more from me.
You're going to hear about Charlie's history. Boy, will you?
It's a long hit. Look at him. It's a long history.
That's what I told him. What were we going to do for the next 58 minutes?
Oh yeah.
Give my history.
Yeah. No, give your history. Yeah.
What would we do after that? For the next 58
exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what. For a 29-year-old guy,
Yeah,
you
I
look
look
real
good.
good.
Pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's great seeing you. Thank you.
Same here.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks for
boss.
stopping by, Paul.
Paul Mellon is the sponsor of our show here, along with Let's Go Places and many of the other shows that we do. Justice for All, Behind the Badge, our health shows. They're just phenomenal. They're great pieces of information so that we can share a lot of points of notable interest, whether it's about the courageous efforts of our police, as I indicated, as well as health, your health. That was another good show, and we'll be bringing that back. Enlightening you with a lot of notable points of interest about your health. But it opened, as I said, the first show opened at the Irish Rover. We had Russ Davidson there with the VFW Post 6393, Congressman Mike Fitzpatrick, who has passed, God rest his soul, Mayor Joe DiGirolamo, there's a guy, 86 years young, still mayor in Ben Salem, one of the largest counties. I think it's the fourth in Pennsylvania. And he's just been extremely successful.
He wouldn't be around that long if he wasn't.
My God, it's just great. But Joe was there along with a lot of our public officials and police officers that came in. It was a great show. It really was. Yeah. As Paul pointed out, what a place to start, doing a show in front of a lot of Irishmen at a pub. But Tracy, who's a good friend.
If you can't have a good time there, you might as well hang up your hat.
You better believe it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, you're right. But just a great beginning, and it continues to evolve, and we bring a lot of good people on the show. But we're going to talk about, we're going to bring you on in and out of a lot of different topics, but let's begin with your profile. I mean, when you began as a young man, you entered into the military, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's nice to have a day. Everybody, it's a holiday weekend. A lot of people are away, and so we have this time to ourselves, Tom. So we can pat each other on the back and
It's a great time to do it.
Talk, let everybody.
It's pretty dangerous, they give us an hour to do this.
Let everybody in on a little bit of information.
Right.
And like you say, I went right from high school to the military.
What high school?
Frankfurt High.
Wow, good.
Frankfurt and North.
Very famous.
Our corner had either you went to Frankfurt or North, and it was like a rivalry the whole time.
That was a big rivalry.
Except when we played the other corners in baseball or football.
Yeah.
Then we were a bond, It was fun.
Historically noted, not only for their academic features, but, North Frankfurt, but also their athletics.
Yes.
Athletics
yes.
was incredible.
Yeah, we had some. We have our soccer coach is Mr. Barr. He was an Olympian, and Mr. Angelo. We had some of the best coaches around. Of course, the North Catholic Thanksgiving Day was
the rivalry.
It was always the big one, But them days were fun back then,
They were, and it wasn't out of hand.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'd have people ribbing each other, maybe a few wrestling matches, but nothing like today. And that's another area.
The kids today, I feel so bad for the kids today, because the good ones that are trying to improve themselves are just being, they can't go out at night or walk the streets at night.
That's the problem.
There's some lunatic level that not like the way they looked at them, and next thing you know, we have a shooting.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Well, that's what's changed. I mean, the culture has changed incredibly over the years. Back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, there was a lot more respect, admiration for teachers. Where now many of them are being persecuted all the time.
Yeah.
It has to stop. We're hoping that we see it, that it will stop and get back to normalcy, which is important.
Somebody got to wake up.
Yeah, you're right.
Or not somebody. A lot of people have to wake up and smell the roses, because if they continue allowing this to go on, it won't get better. It'll just get worse. And I feel. Like I say, we feel sorry for these young kids.
Yeah, it's not easy growing up today. It really isn't. And the parents, you have a responsibility to take control, to support your education system, because that's what's necessary today, so that we can see growth evolving in front of our eyes in a very favorable way. When you have that communion of your teachers who are, obviously during the day, they're responsible for the growth and development of our children, and then our parents on Saturdays and Sundays, holidays, and throughout the evenings, making sure that children have and will build the right fibers of conduct, so that they can grow up in a world that's going to have much more promise. Because it's crazy, it really is. And we're going to talk to Charlie about his history in entering into the military, because it's important. You see Charlie here at all of our shows. We want to give you a little bit of his background. Mine isn't important, believe me. It's this guy here that we're going to raise the volume a little bit today. We're going to take a quick break, as Bree mentioned, to recognize our sponsors, and then we're going to be coming right back with Let's Go Places. Tom Mellon, I'm your host, Charlie Esposito. Don't go anywhere. We'll return after a few words.
It's a new year at Team Toyota, and we're still here for you. With new Toyota models arriving weekly with no markups above MSRP. And with selection. With over 200 certified Toyotas and used cars for every budget, you can drive one home today. And with service. Check out our seasonal specials that will save you time and money. So happy New Year. We're always here for you. At one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills. Or at teamtoyota.net.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video stream live the 4th Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind.
Oi Dana, my love to Papuga.
That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Here we're back.
Welcome back to Let's Go Places on WBCB 1490. And remember, 107.3 on the FM dial, Charlie.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, right here at the showroom, the foundation for our show here, it seems to be a comfortable little spot. People coming in and out on the showroom, looking at the beautiful Toyotas. We're going to talk a little bit later on about the Heroes program that I've installed. I can't believe that's for 15 years it's going to be now that we've been helping a lot of our heroes with good prices, good direction for a vehicle that you just can't beat it. The Toyota, it's incredible. But we'll talk a little bit about that later. Let's get back to your history. You're at Frankfurt. You managed to graduate from Frankfurt High School with honors, I'm sure.
No, not really.
Just lie.
I managed. Manage is the key word there.
Managed, right.
Yeah. I joined the military.
Yeah, let's talk about the military.
To my mother's discringe, but
really, she didn't want you going.
Oh no, my brother was in the service, and and there was a little conflict getting started, and she was upset about. So.
What conflict?
The Vietnam War.
Yes. Yes.
When I first went in, I went in '62. It was just advisors there. It wasn't so bad.
Right.
But towards the end of my service, it got worse and worse and worse. And then I wanted to re-enlist, and my brother was there, and my mother had heart failure. She says, "You can't do that. You can't do that. I don't want, I don't know if they would have let both of us anyway, but I says, okay, Mom, I'll come home, and I came home.
Okay.
So then you get out, you got that military drum in you
sure you do.
For a little bit. You can't getting up early and all this other stuff. I got a few little jobs here and there. I wound up going to Roman Haas.
Roman Haas, what a big company that was.
My God,
it was sold,
but we were charging stuff that was like DDT. That was like an everyday charge. Then they banned it. The government banned it. But then in our building we had a wicked explosion, and it had been a period of time where they were advertising for police. They were advertising for like 19-year-olds.
Right.
They lowered the thing. So a friend of mine, we said, this is it. After we went right down, signed up.
On Broad Street?
They hired, we got past the test right away, and his dad was a prison guard, so he went to be a prison guard, and I went to the police. And I always joke with him, God rest his soul, Costello. He rose to the ranks of the prison commissioner.
Superintendent or
superintendent of prisons, right?
Yeah.
And I walked the beat on an Italian market. So,
well, there was a lot of adventure, and that's what we were talking about. There's a lot of adventure with your history on the police department.
Yeah, the Italian market was phenomenal. You hear the word melting pot, but the Italian market was always a melting pot for the whole city, the whole community. We had of course, we had African Americans, Asians, Spanish,
Indians, Russian. They were
and
all there.
A few whites, and and
right.
But everybody. It was a place where everybody got along with. There wasn't no animosity towards each other.
Very little prejudice.
The workers were mixed. And of course the buyers are all mixed. And I walked that beat for. I worked a car for 5 years, and then I walked that beat for the remainder of my time in the police department. It was,
a great cultural experience.
You never went hungry or thirsty.
I'll bet you didn't.
Them people constantly bringing me coffee. So I must have drank 400 gallons of coffee in my service.
And how about the word mange? Hey, you want a mange?
You want a mange?
You want a mange? You mange. The Italians.
They had I think that's where a lot of words originated, like homie and bro.
Sure.
All them words all started down there.
Yeah.
It was all like, it was nothing bad. It was all cuz. Remember,
Sure.
everybody was cuz.
Everybody was a
It was-
cuz. Everybody
yeah,
was family.
It was all in good taste. You know, there wasn't any.
I can tell you, Charlie,
uh,
that there was a little lady, Mary Santini. I still remember. It was right off. It was the beaten path of Giordano's, is it?
Yeah.
Giordano's produce center. And I was working on plain clothes at the time for the chief inspector squad. And we were on this small street. We served a warrant. We're coming down the street, and there was this Mary Santini, this lady, loved police. How are you, boys? How's it go? She knew right away we were the
Yeah.
police.
Oh yeah, they could smell you.
They can smell you. And she said, do you have a few moments? Which we did. We were finished at the end of the day. She says, come on, I want you to taste something. Here she just made her own. And back then, the bootlegging, bootlegging,
Oh yeah.
that word, I mean, they could say it was criminal activity, but it really wasn't, especially if the volume that the neighbors were making was under a certain capacity. Well, this Mary would make her own booze, her own alcohol.
Anisette. Black brandy.
Yes.
Oh, my grandmother did.
Oh, a peach brandy. Well, she had just finished brewing a peach brandy, and she taught me how to make it. And son of a gun, if I didn't go home, and I tried it, and half the block was staggering down the street after
Yeah.
I must have made almost a gallon of this stuff. Pure grain alcohols. The spirits had to be carefully poured in at a certain time and stirred. And the problem was I was a little ridiculous. It's supposed to be 60 proof or 40 proof. Mine was like 120 proof by the time I was finished with it. One of my neighbors, just a few doors down, he said to me, I don't know what you just gave me, but I can't tell you. I feel so good right now, more than I ever
60%
have.
alcohol, I guess so. Yeah, the bootleggers used to come around with their little wagons and sell
Did they?
sell the pure alcohol.
Yeah,
That's what
pure
they,
grain, 190
and
proof.
they would make the people would buy it, and like grandmothers. And that's what we got for Christmas every year. All my father and my uncles, they got a bottle of Anisette, a bottle of blackberry brandy, a bottle of peach brandy. That was their Christmas present every year.
Sure.
She would make it all the time.
Right. So your
Because
detail.
now it's cheaper to go to the state store and buy it than
It
try to
probably
buy alcohol.
and safer too.
Yeah, and safer.
Yeah, because you could end up blowing yourself up over the gas range or doing something silly like making it as strong as I did. But-
I had the pleasure of running into all the mob figures.
You did?
Down on 9th Street, half
Right.
of them were there all the time.
Yes.
It's a funny concept because it's. I mean, it's supposed to be good and bad and
Good
all.
and bad.
But if you see them all the time, you just have. They say hi and you say hi back, and they walk their way and you walk your way.
Yeah, there was a respect there.
Yeah, you just.
If they were caught with their fingers in a
Well,
cookie
they
jar,
knew. Yeah, they knew. They didn't do. They had the respect of not doing anything in front of you. You know what I mean? They gave you that respect.
absolutely. And another good thing, the leadership that we had then, the Rizzo
Oh
era.
yeah. Oh.
And Rizzo had a very strong respect and understanding, and on both sides it reciprocated with Angelo Bruno, who was the alleged
the gentleman.
gentleman Don.
Yeah. Unless you crossed them.
You
Don't
crossed him,
cross
then,
them.
then there was a problem.
Yeah.
But the neighborhoods were safe.
Yeah, everything was safe.
Everything was safe back then. So your career, how many years did you spend, Joe?
Well, because my first wife had MS and she was
Yes.
suffering.
Yes.
I had my 22 in, and the doctors only gave her 6 months to live. I says, well, I'm going to retire now. Back then, you could be out a year and you would come back with everything, full. But she fooled them, and she lived for like 18 more months.
Oh my God.
So that time period elapsed, but I enjoyed every minute of it down there.
Oh, I'm sure you
I
did.
mean, you had and it was such a small district, and you had everything in there because we had 6 high towers, which made the population. They go by population when they bill.
Yes.
When they made the districts, so you had all kinds of crime. There was all kinds of crime. We had a touch of everything down there, and a lot of sad days. We had a few police officers that got murdered when I was down there.
Officer Trenton.
Trenton, yeah, and Trombone, and a few of them, and them days live with you forever, you know.
Sure they do.
The worst thing to be involved in is to be the first at a crime scene, and the officers not breathing, you know. Tough times.
Some of your greatest memories being on the police department, the things that
you meet a
that
lot
you
of
were
people.
involved
You
with.
meet a lot of people. You know, you meet a lot of, especially the politicians and the lawyers, and a lot of people come down here. Campaign time.
I'm sure.
I met Ronald Reagan. He was down there. He was really nice. The store we were at, they made his name in bread. You know, the
No kidding.
bread store. But he was real casual. Clinton was there. Of course, there was the Rocky movies were there. They made
That's right. He used to come right through the
few
market.
television shows they did down there. So you meet a lot of people, you make a lot of friends.
How about some of the charities that you were involved with down there?
Well, I wasn't so much involved with outside charities as I was with the police charities, you know, like
Yeah.
the survivors.
The Survivors Fund.
Which they just had last a couple
Yeah,
weeks
let's
ago.
talk about that. It was Saturday.
Yeah,
right?
Saturday.
This past
really,
Saturday.
Really nice. The rain, of course, the last couple of years we've been having it
Outside.
inside because of the rain.
Right.
We had it inside, and we had a decent crowd. Raised a little bit of money for the survivors. You know, we honored a few of the survivors. It's a great day for, you know, just to go have a good time. Food was always good.
It's always good down
And,
there.
they had
11630 Caroline
Caroline
Road.
You can
It's right
always-
by the Pepsi plant.
right. You
At,
can always make a donation. They don't. It doesn't have to be a certain time of the year.
Right.
And all the benefits go to the families of the survivors. You know.
Yeah.
Like we honored. We just had Police Week down in Washington D.C. and Officer Fitzgerald, the Temple police officer that got killed,
Yes.
and Officer Mendez.
That was
from
another
Newport.
sad, too
We
sad.
we honored them, their families.
Yeah.
So they do a lot for the FOP Lodge 5 does a lot for the families
Sure.
of our fallen heroes.
Yes.
I mean, and you never get. Don't get me wrong. You can never do too much, you know. But they do a lot. You know, they take care of her. At least they take care of her. And we have a reef program that we do too, where we put reefs in all the graves of
That's
all.
another great.
All the, you know, we go to like 30, 40 cemeteries because they're all over the place, and
Sure.
we put wreaths at Christmas times. So a lot goes on. Behind the doors, you know. It's a close-knit family. It's like any other thing. We like to take care of our own.
You captured the words right out of my
We-
mouth.
we
I was
like-
going to say that.
And we like to take care of our own. And if we don't do it, there's not many, you know, other people that have their own problems, their own.
Exactly. There's
They
many.
take care. So we emphasize taking care of our own. I mean, we do things for the families, especially the widowers, you know, the women, the wives and the husbands of fallen heroes. There's so many things that are done for them that it's, you know, it makes you feel good. Especially if you worked with them. Like I worked with a few guys that got murdered, and I'm friends with a few parents, like, you know, Pat O'Donnell and all them, Terry O'Connor.
Yeah, Terry.
Jimmy O'Connor. You
My
know.
cousin. Sure,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, and you get to see the families, and
And they have to go on every
yeah,
day.
they go on, and you try to be that. You don't want to bring anything up, and you try to be that pleasant thing, but you know what's going on in the back of
Oh,
their heads.
God, yeah.
It's well, that's what I say. If we don't do it, like the Colonel's son. Oh, they have the charity. We did the.
Which?
Starts with a Trevor. He's a Medal of Honor winner.
Oh, the Medal of Honor. Jesus.
Starts with Trevor.
Yeah, it's
Ain't
Trevor.
this terrible? I feel terrible.
That's all right.
Well, anyway,
there's too many of them.
his slogan was, "If we don't do it, who
Nobody will.
know who will?" You know.
Right.
His sister runs the program.
Travis.
Travis Manuel. Thank
Travis
you,
Manuel.
sir. I was going crazy here. My head was going to explode.
Yeah, Travis Mannion.
Yeah, and that was his expression.
Well, that was his mother and father saying, "Why are we going? Well, why are you going back?"
Yeah.
Well, if not me, then who?
Who?
And
That
that's
me.
their slogan. You're right. You're
And
listening.
that's, people don't know, but all they see is a policeman oh, look, he's there eating a donut. I mean, that's what we hear. He's having they don't know. They don't know.
It's not true.
They
No,
don't
it's
know
not.
what's going on.
That's true.
They don't know the anxiety that some policemen have.
No, you're right, and it goes on and on.
Yeah.
You're listening to my co-host, who you listen to on all of our shows, Charlie Esposito. We're going to take a quick break again to recognize our sponsors. Then we're going to come back with Charlie. We have some other things, other topics to discuss, and places where we will be going. Let's go places.
Yes.
And we will be going places.
Yeah, we have a nice place to go to today.
Yes, we do. We're going to talk about that when we return. Don't go anywhere.
It's a new year at Team Toyota, and we're still here for you. With new Toyota models arriving weekly with no markups above MSRP. And with selection. With over 200 certified Toyotas and used cars for every budget, you can drive one home today. And with service. Check out our seasonal specials that will save you time and money. So Happy New Year. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform mix of the hits and beyond. It's a happening, a musical journey. It's the Glenn Jones Radio Experience, right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, Thursday and Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., directly following the legendary Jerry Blavitt. Radio, the way it ought to be.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you because your opinion does matter.
Thanks for listening in. Thanks for hanging in with us after listening to some of our sponsors, such as Paul Muller, who's sponsored many of our shows, and Team Toyota, and Paul being the owner of Team, the 3 dealerships here in Langhorne, one in Princeton and one in Glen Mills. Other than that, he also carries the responsibility as the president of the Toyota Tri-State Dealers Association, which covers 3 states. So Paul's very much engaged. Paul Muller's very much engaged, very family-oriented, and he treats all the employees here as family, each of them individually. What a character, Paul.
Oh, I love him.
What a character. Yeah, he's funny.
What a great sense of humor.
Oh, I try to get the sense of pick that up from him, but I think it's just born. You're born with those types of characteristics.
He's like a Henny Youngman.
Like a Henny Youngman,
He just
yeah.
pops them out.
Exactly. So we were listening a little bit about Charlie's era and the police department. At present, you're the president of the Retired Police, Fire, and Correctional Officers. You've been doing that for how many years, Charlie?
Almost 9 years now. 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years.
And you took over?
And that and $1.50, you get a coffee anywhere. So,
but it's great, though. Tell us.
President does half the work.
Yeah. God.
The only company organization where the president's doing half the work.
To be a member.
Oh,
you can join.
Anybody can join.
Right.
Anybody. We have. We like to keep the spouses of fallen heroes or police officers that passed away.
Yep.
A lot of them like to stay members. They like to get the paper, keep up on our stories and see if any of their friends had passed away. And that's one way of doing it.
Yes.
Especially people that live in other states. We have many Florida and out west.
Oh God,
Kentucky.
yeah.
We have a lot of members scattered throughout the country. It's a shame because I think we just lost our only Hawaiian member.
Get out.
Yeah,
Who
we have
passed
one.
away.
We have people in all 50 states, but we also have auxiliary members, or that
Sure.
they're allowed to join.
Yes.
They're entitled to everything we do, our luncheons, our general body meetings if they want to attend them. You know what I mean? Any functions that we have, if they want to or volunteer or anything in it.
Sure.
The only the only thing we don't allow them is to vote. To vote
Okay.
for our board. Like we have an election every 2 years to vote for the board and directors. So that's the only thing that they don't have privilege in, because technically they're not. They would
Police
never
background.
police or fire
or correctional officers.
or nothing like that. So they should.
Sure.
It wouldn't be fair for them to vote.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a good organization. It's tough right now. It's tough getting new members. These young kids, they get out and they go get other jobs.
Sure they
It's
do.
not like before. People retired and they retired. Today they get out at a younger age. They go get another job, so they don't. It's hard for them to join up right away when they leave the police department.
That's the
because they're
truth.
going to another job, and most of our people are older gentlemen. We lost. I think we lost 242 members last year.
Wow. It goes
242
by
members
fast.
in 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, they drop quickly, and
Yeah.
the attrition rate. We try to get more people to join as these people are passing. It starts to disseminate a little bit. Or,
Yeah, and
get
it's hard,
smaller and smaller.
It's hard to get them to join. But I mean, we try. But like I say, and I can understand some of the reasoning is because guys are retiring younger,
Sure,
and
sure.
they're going out and they're getting their second job, and it's not, they're working during the day, and it's not easy for them to join something and get involved.
and get involved with something like that. But it's a great. What's the number that if someone is listening, because it would be great. There's a lot of good social activities, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
It gets you out of the house. Your wife will be happy, or your husband will be happy if it's the other way around. If there's a
Somebody will be happy.
Somebody will be happy. Get out there and join the meetings and social activities that we have. But
Yeah.
what's the number they could call if they would
Yeah,
like to join?
Sure, 215-335-1670. Anybody that answers the phone, you just tell them what you would like to do, and they'll mail you out all the information that you need, the application, the cards, and a little story of what we do.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.
And you just get it and you just mail it back to us.
I can't believe I just recognized 1670 inverted. Obviously, my badge number was 7061.
Wow.
I should never forget that
Wow.
that phone number 1670.
What a small world.
It is
I'm
a small
telling you.
world, isn't it? But we want to talk about some other things. Obviously, security right now. We just find this morning I'm on my way out the door, and Jerry, my wife, says to me, there was another homicide in the Crescentville,
terrible,
the
terrible.
Crescentville section of Philadelphia. That's out by St. William's Parish, using that denomination of myself being Catholic,
Yeah,
but
that's
off of Rising Sun Avenue.
all our grandmothers, they never said this street or that street.
Right, they would mention a
St.
parish.
Jerome, St. Catherine's.
Right, St. Bernard, St. Matt's,
Yeah.
all the way on and on and on. And even, even people of other religious beliefs
Would know
would
it.
know.
Yeah.
They would know as well. But, yeah, this savage attack, the police discovered a 75 and a 58-year-old, two females in the basement, stabbed to death. Many times it's domestic, as you know,
Yeah,
Charlie.
sure.
It turns, it's revealed that
80% of the time.
yeah, it's someone in the family, some type of anger, passionate thing that occurs. But I understand that the 58-year-old, the daughter who was killed, her husband has all different types of marks on his hand and cuts, and so something.
We're
will
not
come out of it.
judging anybody.
We're
just,
not.
We're
We
just
don't know.
passing along the information that we got.
Please.
I don't want anybody. Don't call us up and tell us we're. Just,
Yeah.
we're
What are you
making-
accusing?
No, yeah.
No, we're just telling you what we hear, and you'll
Yeah.
be hearing it on the news as
Yeah.
well. But there's a lot of good tips that I'd like to share real quick about how to keep your area, your presence in the neighborhood, and your property safe. It's too easy for the predators to be lurking around and watching for particular habits.
Oh yeah, they have key
Oh,
things they look
God.
for.
And with the weather now, it's beautiful out. People, what do? They open up their windows. The screens are in. Well, that's an entrance opportunity for them to come in. Keep your windows locked at night. That's why we have air conditioning today. That's why we have fans. Unfortunately, we have to look out and be safe and try to, give you the advice that's so necessary and often gets overlooked. I left this morning. We had our windows up when we got up in the morning, and I shut them down immediately or locked them because you just don't know. Keep your surroundings well lit at night.
Yes.
I see certain neighbors. It doesn't even look like there's a house there because
So
everything
dark.
is so dark. Well, that's where the predators would love to lurk around in that area because it's a haven for them. They can start conjuring up their little criminal activities. It just makes it too easy. Dogs have been a proven security measure. You have a dog, anything out there that's walking around, there's going to be some barking. So that's a good alarm. Speaking of alarms, the alarm systems that you have out there, this Ring alarm, is it any good? Well, it's a good security system when you think it includes.
It's better than nothing.
Oh, it's a 24/7 monitoring system,
Right.
and it can hook up by Bluetooth right to your phone. So I have friends of mine in here, some of my coworkers, they'll open up their Ring. It's called Ring alarm system, and they can show me their surroundings of their house, interior of the house, and if something's going on, obviously they can call the police right away. And the ADT, a lot of these security alarm systems, that's what we have, an alarm system as well. But I'm looking into this Ring security so that when
Yeah, I've
someone
seen-
comes to your door,
yeah.
there's a camera there, and you can, very cost effective. It doesn't cost much money at all. The security today, unfortunately, because of the desperados that are out there, especially people who need to feed their habit with the drug activity.
What a
and
nice way of
everything.
putting it, the desperados.
Yes, they
I,
are.
I have a few other adjectives, but
Yeah.
we can't say it.
It's horrible. It's horrible. This afternoon, we're going to be in attendance with our friend, retired Chief John Applethorne, who's the president, and the Vice President Santo Montecalvo with the Citizens Crime Commission. Bob Reffis is the chair, not a police officer, but he's part of the citizens part of the Crime Commission, doing a great job. I worked with Bob Reffis when we were young, back before I went on the police department. We both worked for Metropolitan Life Insurance Company as consultants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on Cotman Avenue, one of my
Well,
many.
you had a lot of jobs.
Oh God, walks of life.
Nobody liked you.
Nobody liked me at all. After a couple of years, they say, "Get out, go somewhere else, annoy someone else," But we'll be going down there later today. We got to throw our suits on.
Yeah, how
Get
could
down
I
there.
make that mistake?
Yeah, well, that's all right. Well, mistakes happen. That's why you have
Yeah,
a
well,
partner.
that's why you
I
get
reminded
old.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Crime Commission, it does a lot of good for society. It brings to the reuniting of citizens in the neighborhoods, working with the police, and coming up with tips. There's certain tips that can be, there's a tip. Where is that? Before we take a break, there is a tip line, and I know I put it down here because it's important. The tip line, if you happen to witness any type of criminal activity, or even if you think there's something going on, you can call the tip line for the Citizens Crime Commission, and that's 215-546-TIPS, which is 8477. 215-546-8477. They've been in existence for many, many years, and they do just a wonderful, wonderful job. They develop programs that assist SEPTA, Cigna, Rite Aid. A lot of the large and small corporations are involved with the Citizens Crime Commission, and we'll be going down there today for their annual luncheon.
Yeah,
somewhere
they
on
give
Broad
awards
Street.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find out where that address is.
Yeah.
But
Boy, we're on the ball, aren't we?
well, are we on the ball today?
So that's what happens when you get old.
Yeah, yeah.
That's we don't like the alternative.
No, the alternative is not good.
Not getting old.
No, that's for sure. And last Thursday, May the 16th, this past Thursday, I had the occasion, very much affiliated this event that I'm going to talk about quick. Do we have a couple minutes, Bree? About 45 seconds? Or okay. And we'll talk a little bit about on the other about this event on the other side of the of our break, but the PAL Gala, Police Athletic League, the gala event that was down at the VIE Center. I can share a great story with you.
Yeah.
I couldn't find parking anywhere, but one of my brothers, traffic police officer, said, "Tom, over there, that spot right there, park it. I'll keep an eye on your car." Thank God for that. Because parking down there can be atrocious.
Yeah.
Down on 600 North Broad Street. Maureen Rush, we'll talk a little bit about Maureen, a police officer who really elevated herself incredibly. Continued to go to school. She went and got her master's, her doctorates, and she was the vice president of the University of Penn Police. And now she's the president of the Philadelphia Police Foundation. She gets involved with so many different things. She's involved with the PAL event. I'll talk a little bit about that. Vince Giannini, who is the PAL chair, he's involved as well, and on and on. Captain Mike O'Donnell, who's the officer, the commanding officer. Mike and I will talk a little bit about Mike and myself. We were neighbors. We lived right on the same street in Mayfair growing up. His father being a fire captain, my father being a detective in the police department. But lots more to talk about. We're going to take another quick break so that we can recognize our sponsors. Frank and Terry Colosi, thank you for listening in. I know Frank's in the garage. He's got his radio on. He's listening in. Avid listeners with all of our shows. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Terry. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
It's a new year at Team Toyota, and we're still here for you. With new Toyota models arriving weekly with no markups above MSRP. And with selection, with over 200 certified Toyotas and used cars for every budget, you can drive one home today. And with service, check out our seasonal specials that will save you time and money. So Happy New Year, we're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills, or at teamtoyota.net.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video stream live the 4th Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Okay.
We're back with Let's Go Places. Charlie Esposito, my infamous co-host of this show, Bree at the helm, our engineer. We're right here on the showroom floor at 746 East Lincoln Highway. You ask, what is that? Well, it's Team Toyota, where you can get a beautiful car, whether it's something compact, mid-level with the sedans, mid-level with the SUVs, and on up into our trucks and some of our luxury cars as well. Paul Muller's been doing this show, sponsoring this show for us for a long time, and we're happy to share a lot of our public speakers. Some of our guests that come in with some of the shows that we do are just phenomenal, aren't they, Charlie?
Yeah, we brought some good people in here.
Oh my God, it's phenomenal. I want to get back with the history of the Crime Commission real quick, so you're aware. Well, what is the Crime Commission? How it exists? Who's involved with it? It's a nonprofit, non-government advisory and educational organization. It's put together to fight crime by working with law enforcement agencies and the judicial system. It operates with a staff of specially trained criminal justice professionals, including attorneys and police officers. So you got a great working group. It's developed programs, as I mentioned before. It works with SEPTA, Cigna, Rite Aid, and a lot of large and small corporations. It has a tip line, which we'll mention again. The tip line number is 215-546-8477. We're going to be going down to meet a lot of our partners in crime that we worked with for many years. A lot of the chiefs and police officers, detectives, public officials will be down there. I remember last year, I know the governor was down there, and our buddy John McNesby is working for the governor now, doing a splendid job with security for the state now. But it's a great organization that we're happy to be affiliated with, and I just wanted to throw that out there. That's the Crime Commission. Now, the other event that I went to was the gala, the PAL Gala, which Maureen Rush was the co-chair for the raffle that they did down there, and a lot of our sports celebrities donated. Like Kelsey had his helmet down there, and a lot of the Phillies had their different gloves and hats and shirts. And they raised, Maureen sent me an email, more than $1 million. $1 million for
just for
the PAL
one
Gala.
Yeah.
And PAL, it's been around for a long time. I was a member of PAL when I was a young kid. I remember Frank Wolf, a police officer who ran the PAL down in Frankfurt. There's, oh God, I think 15 or 20 units now that are scattered across the city of Philadelphia. But there was only a couple back then, back in the 50s and 60s. That's where I learned how to box, defend myself, back in the old days. Frank Wolf, my father used to do the sweetheart contests, and there was singing and all kinds of amateur contests. And the money that they raised was used for development of the children that were less fortunate in the neighborhoods. And they just
sport
do
equipment,
God.
well, a lot of things.
At immeasurable heights that they have successfully reached and continue to reach. With $1 million raised, that helps build the continue the cohesiveness and developing character in children scattered across the city of Philadelphia. A lot of them are not as fortunate as we were, not having parents and looking for direction. Because you know what happens if they don't, they're going to end up in criminal activity. The susceptibility is very high. So the PAL, with its roots, continues to evolve with education, with social activities, charitable events, arts and crafts, sports, you name it. It's there for our children.
Yep.
And the example that is set by our police officers cannot be measured high enough. That we have our children that look up to police officers, not run away from them thinking that, I don't want to get caught doing something. Or police.
Yeah, we don't have the numbers, but I venture to say many children's lives were turned around because of PAL. Because they had the opportunity to go get out of the bad neighborhoods or even good neighborhoods and go somewhere where they can play a sport, make friends.
Sure.
Be able to live with each other without hostilities towards each other. PAL is phenomenal. There's not enough words to say about them. And you got to give a lot of credit to the police officers that work those PAL facilities.
The leadership is incredible. I met a lot of them as the spokesman when Paul cannot make certain charitable events. As you know, you were there with me many times in City Hall, PAL Day, where a lot of our children in high school have an opportunity to take a walk through an 8-hour tour of a lot of our city officials' jobs and responsibilities. From the mayor, they'll appoint a certain child to walk through the leadership roles that our mayor is responsible for in a day. Police commissioners, a lot of our council people. It's just a great program, and I have the opportunity to, as PAL is involved with Toyota, we donated $25,000 to their benefit, to the PAL's benefit, to keep it growing. Along with, there's a lot of other organizations out there making donations, but we're a major sponsor, and we're just very happy and proud to be a part of it because it's so valuable for the kids. And I got an opportunity to meet at the gala event last week, Police Commissioner Bethel. We spoke a little bit about the program.
Who was a PAL member?
He was a PAL member as well,
Yeah.
and loves what we're doing, the officers that we have, the dedication. It goes beyond an 8-hour shift. These officers, they're on the phone with their with their children. Any kind of questions or problems that they may have, if their parents aren't there, they become novice leader roles, so that they can help with growth and development, and see these children make something of themselves, and feel and understand deep in the heart that we do care, that the police officers out there do care, and that we want to see the growth and development continue. So the PAL Day down at City Hall was great, and then last Thursday, May 16th, I had the opportunity to represent Toyota, and it was just phenomenal to see all the people that came out. As I mentioned, the police commissioner was there. He's going to be coming on our show, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an interesting. We met him a few times. He's very interesting to talk to.
He really is.
He has that nice, easy voice.
He does. He does.
There's nothing worse than someone that loses their temper.
Oh, my God. He was the perfect selection.
Yeah.
For that.
I seem to think so.
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely. A lot of people coming in, and, we only have a few minutes because this show goes by so quick. We're asking about some of the technology that's occurring with the Toyota product. Well, give me a call sometime, especially if you're a policeman, fire, military, medical, education, or if you're a family member, if you have a family member that's interested. This Heroes program that we've been doing, Charlie, for many, many years, 15 years now, because of the state-of-the-art technology that's evolved and continues to grow, I have to constantly be asking a lot of our salesmen out there, are you, with the training that we get, or that I may not be getting, there's so much to learn with the vehicle. They're smart vehicles today, especially with the safety instrumentation and all. But there's a lot of hype with the Grand Highlander. That's a brand new member of the Toyota family, and it's just a little bit bigger. You look at the cubic inches, I think it's about 202 inches compared to 194 inches with the Highlander. You got the Highlander and the Grand Highlander. There's some recognizable size differences. One of the many reasons why they put the Grand Highlander together, and you can get that in different powertrains as well. You can get it in a gas engine, and then there's 2 hybrid engines that you can get. But there's so many features that you can learn more about if you give me a call, 215-768-6505. That's 215-768-6505. And there's other vehicles. There's big questions about the Sequoia, the big SUV that we have. Actually, this Grand Highlander has more cubic footage area than the Sequoia, just the way it's shaped and the purpose of it. So a lot of good things and a lot of good safety instrumentation. The infotainment system, they're like TVs, the screens that are in the...
My son just brought home, you just sold him a Sienna.
Sienna.
My God, I couldn't... It's not like the good old days when you got in the car, started the car, that was it.
Right.
There's so much, especially the room in the back and how the seats go down and how much room it gives you. There's so many different new things in the cars today.
It's incredible. It really is.
You have to take a night class to learn that.
I know, you're right.
To learn all the gadgets.
Yeah, well, Child, thanks for introducing some of your background to that
my
you
pleasure,
shared.
man.
We're at the end of the show, and I want to thank everyone for listening. In 2 weeks, we'll have Justice for All, right, Bree? Jennifer Shorn is our district attorney here in Bucks, where crime runs away. It doesn't run rampant because we're strict up here, and we have a good system with police security and as well as our judicial system. She'll be coming in to join us the first or the second, forgive me, the second Wednesday of the month, and we'll be enjoying what she's going to be bringing on. She brings some great guests on. So for now, I want to thank everyone for listening. Thank Paul Muller, thank Bree and Charlie. And Charlie, I'll let you close it, whatever you want to say.
I just want to wish everybody out there, stay safe, be healthy, be good to your neighbor. That's something we don't hear a lot of. Be a little easy. Don't lose your temper.
Great.
And God bless us all, and God bless America. I heard
There
that
you go.
somewhere.
You've said it all. God bless America.
And Tom, hurry up home and walk the dog.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly. Jerry, I'm coming home to walk the dog. Yeah, right. Thanks for joining us. We'll be with you soon.